My dad touched me inappropriately as a child. Nobody knows and I'm honestly really lost. I don't know if this will get anywhere. I've never told anyone about this. When I was younger, maybe 9 to 12, my dad would touch me inappropriately on the butt. He would put his hand in my pants, through my panties and rub my butt, sometimes would try to go further. My mom would see this happen and say nothing. I'm 17 now and he also looks at me inappropriately at my chest and butt. I love to wear tight clothing, but when I'm around him while wearing tight clothing I honestly feel disgusting. I don't know if this is normal. He always accidentally touches my butt every now and then. I don't know what to do or who to talk to. You need to tell someone, either a family member that you trust, or school counselor. No, it's really scary and it's hard to trust anyone, but that is sexual abuse. What's happening and happened to you is not okay, and you deserve to get help and to feel safe in your own house. It's super hard, but you have to tell someone. They'll report it because they will protect you. Adults need to protect you, and I think you should let them even though it's really hard. I know you're afraid of your family finding out, but you're a victim. You did absolutely nothing wrong. You have nothing to feel ashamed of. What he did to you and what your mom watched happen is extremely wrong. You deserve to get help and out of the situation. I can't bring myself to do it. This is absolutely not normal, and unfortunately your mom and dad are both awful. I would look into getting help and support from outside your immediate family. I'm sure other Redditors will have more concrete options that you can explore than I would have. I'm sorry that happened to you. I don't know how to get help. I don't have a driver's license, any form of transportation besides my mom and dad. Do you feel comfortable talking to a school counselor or something? Edit to add, and it's absolutely not normal. You should feel safe in your home, and no one should be touching you inappropriately. No, I don't. Really don't trust them. I wouldn't want to talk to someone I know because I feel like they would tell someone I know, you know? I'm sorry if this is really confusing. I'm crying as I'm writing this. First off, I'm so sorry you have had to experience this. Not only is someone who is supposed to protect you sexually abusing you, but your mother is allowing it. Sadly, this happens more often than you think, and from your comments I see you're having a hard time in coming to the idea you need to tell someone. I understand completely and don't want you to be outside your comfort zone more so. I will say abuse can often escalate, if it hasn't already, and you're just suppressing it to protect your psyche. And once your father no longer has access to you, he might attempt to abuse someone else. Although it is hard, I do think you should speak with someone. Teachers, doctors, and general care practitioners all are legally required to take your safety into consideration and tell the authorities. You are also at the age where you can qualify for emancipation and be an adult, which would save the heartache of CPS. I do hope you are safe and trying to best to get out of the situation. You should definitely look into therapy, love. You are your most important advocate. You did not deserve this. You didn't ask for this. It is not right nor normal. There's an increasing conflict between what my girlfriend, 23F, wants, and my own moral boundaries. Need some advice on how I can talk to her about it. I've been dating this girl for over 9 months now. It's been a weird transition because just a little after we started dating, we got quarantined, and so most of the relationship was just over texts and messages. Plus, the whole new relationship excitement. So it was pretty smooth sailing. Then slowly, as we got more comfortable together, and now with the relaxed quarantine laws we get to spend a lot of time together, I'm starting to understand what she wants from me as a boyfriend, and it's causing problems. I'm someone who doesn't believe in forcing people, and I avoid doing that, especially with the people I've been in a relationship with. It just feels wrong because it feels like I'm abusing the emotional power I hold in a relationship and making them do something they didn't want. I've been on the receiving end of this with my ex, where she used to force me for the smallest things by using the "I thought I was important to you" card. The problem is, my girlfriend wants me to force her. She wants me to insist, make her change her mind and all that. It started out with simple things, like when she was in a bad mood and didn't want to talk about it. I used to try asking for a couple of times, then stop, tell her that I'm there if she wants to open up, and leave her alone. But that used to backfire, because she felt that if I cared for her, I would not let it go like that. Even other things, like making plans or asking her to come over. Little things like these. So I went against my moral compass and started forcing her more. If that made her feel more wanted, I was fine with it. So if she didn't want to talk, I kept badgering till she opened up. Or if she didn't want to do XYZ, I would keep forcing till she agreed. She was happy because she felt I was taking initiative and that I cared. But now things are getting a little shady. Last week we had an argument, and she started leaving from my place. I didn't stop her. That's just abusive to hold someone against their will. So I didn't. But she was so upset that I just let her go. That I didn't hold her back, or prevent her from leaving. So we ended up having a huge argument about that too. And she left again. And it was the same thing all over. And this is also starting to creep up in the bedroom. She wants me to continue even if she says she's not in the mood. And wants me to get her in the mood. Because if I don't, I have apparently lost interest in her. To me that just sounds fucked up. Forcing someone after they have said no. Oh boy. So what do I do? This isn't some small issue. She is deeply affected by this. Her perception of me, when I don't force her, is that I don't care for her. She wants me to do all these things that just don't sit well with my moral compass. She doesn't see all of this as forcing but rather showing that I care. How do I explain this to her? Yo, she needs hella therapy. The emotions and actions she associates with love are not what love actually are. She isn't mature enough to be in a relationship. What she wants is to have no responsibility for anything. Much less dodgy than this, but I had this friend from when we were teenagers. She was a real stick in the mud and I was more adventurous. I always would try and talk her into shit. He liked that, and kept the dynamic up. When we were older she would still say talk me into it, but if our plans didn't live up to her standards, she'd be like I told you so. If they did she'd be like I'm so glad I let you talk me into this. It was exhausting and it meant that whatever happened was always on me and never on her. Non-con and other types of roleplay that simulate unhealthy situations should only be practiced by people mature enough to understand the difference between real and fantasy abuse. She's clearly not up to it. She wants you to be somebody that thank God, you are not. She's going to exhaust you this way, and she's not going to learn the realities of what nature live actually means if you indulge her. You should find someone else, and she should find a therapist. She is severely insecure and is transferring the whole relationship dynamic into your hands. This means she's not responsible for any decisions, initiatives, or the course this relationship may take. Start by communicating your thoughts and feelings in a first-person non-accusatory way. I like you and would like to finish talking to you so we can this fight we are having. Since you are leaving, we can finish talking tomorrow. Or I don't like to have to get you in the mood like this because it makes me feel like a creep. But all in all, she seems very childish and not ready for a real-life relationship. Do you really want to be the one spending time on energy educating her? Chances are, after all your efforts, you'll become the vessel of her old self. She'll break up with you and move on into someone new. Eater, I missed the fact you said Ahay was 23. Yeah, I would let Tier 1 be and move on. That's some toxic manipulative BS if I've ever seen it. She'll eventually try to fake leave you. She'll also refuse to let you break up with her. I'm so sorry you have to deal with it. If she threatens to kill herself or anything, call the police and then leave. Trust me, been there. That's unhealthy and manipulative, and if she persists you should consider whether it's healthy for you to stay with her. Is it possible my BF is sabotaging me? What do I do? So first off I want to say I don't think he's being malicious on purpose, but I'm not sure what to do anyway. Also, I have mentioned it to him but he gets defensive and upset. I work from home, about 2 years now, and also go to grad school online, since July. My BF has the tendency to not go to work when I have shit due, whether it's a work project or school assignments. This past week, I had a final Tuesday and multiple papers due. He decided to not go to work at all this week. Our bedroom is right next to my office, and he blares the TV like crazy. I asked him to go to the den which is across the house, but he said he was cold, and he won't put headphones on. On my part, this is a lame excuse, but I get frequent ear infections and wearing headphones for a long time is difficult. I have an OK set, but they don't have a microphone and I needed to do online meetings. 2. A few weeks ago I had an assignment I had to be on campus for, to the extent of if you miss this you automatically fail the class. I have 2 vehicles right now, a truck and car, and he drives his work van and has a motorcycle. So he parks the van behind my car and then my truck is next to my car. He decides to take the motorcycle out. When I go to leave for my assignment, I can't find my truck key anywhere. So I look for his keys to unblock my car and I can't find them either. I have no way to get to school and he's not answering me cause he's out riding. I ended up taking an Uber. It turns out he took my truck key and his keys riding with him. 3. Our Wi-Fi is literal garbage. It's okay with one device on, but don't try to watch Netflix in 2 rooms. My online classes require internet, and these are always the exact times he wants to watch Netflix or Hulu. We have regular TV, so it's not our only option. I have ended up using my phone's hotspot to attend class. These are just from this semester. I honestly don't know what to do. I know the obvious thing to do is talk to him, but I've tried to, and even if he complies that week, it just happens again next week. Help me. Trust your instinct. If you think it's happening, it most certainly is happening, and yes, for those reasons, sabotage, there's too much of a coincidence there for it to be accidental. The TV/Wi-Fi crap during a pandemic I could maybe ignore. The leaving me without a vehicle thing was too much. How does that even happen? Exclamation mark. It does sound like he's subtly trying to sabotage you. Like WTH. You're not crazy. Why is he being so inconsiderate? Is he normally so dismissive of what you need and ask for? Because you doing this thing to better yourself is a need right now, not a want. And he is disregarding you, and honestly I'd be a little pissed if I were you. I don't know if dismissive is the right word, but he's very his way or the highway, I guess. Now that I've thought about it a little, he is sabotaging with other things. When I got a Roomba, all of a sudden he started leaving clothes on the floor and it couldn't vacuum. Or he'll use most of the gas in a vehicle when I need to go somewhere. Crap. If he gets defensive every time you bring it up, he's almost certainly doing it on purpose. Do with that what you will. Best of luck to you. It does sound like he is sabotaging your attempts to better yourself. Yup, he's probably afraid that once you get your degree you'll be more desirable to other men and upgrade. My dad was the same way. My grandma told him once she finishes that nursing degree she'll leave you for someone better. I mean, can litmus test it. Be very vocal for 2 weeks leading up about some important thing you have to do and how you absolutely need the car for it, you'll be out that day, etc etc. Doesn't need to be the car, can be any easy to sabotage thing, but car is probably easiest. The night before, purposeful, I put the keys in a spot he could snag them or whatever. Also look at where anything else is in terms of sabotage. Take pictures with your phone of how stuff is beforehand. Where his vehicles are, where all keys are sitting, where your wallet is, etc etc. Take as much evidence photos as you can when he isn't around to see. Then next day, if something mysterious happens, you will know. Honestly though, if you're going to these extremes, the relationship has already run its course.